Emotional intelligence, balance. You're probably thinking, how do these two go hand in hand? To which I would say it goes hand in hand because without balance in the competencies with regards to emotional intelligence, you won't be able to truly utilize its power and the potential that it has within you. Now, emotional intelligence, to me, it's your ability to understand and express yourself. It's how you see yourself and how you're able to express those views and beliefs to the world. It's how you deal with challenges, and it's how you build and maintain relationships with other people. And it doesn't even just have to be people, it could be pets too. So now that we've got that clear, I want to talk about the importance of balance. Now, you have people like David Goggins, and he's just the first one that I can think of, who say that if you want to be the best, balance is completely rubbish. It's just balance is what everyone says and what everyone does. So if you want to be mediocre, you go for balance between your work and your personal life. But if you want to be the best, you have to get to a level of obsession where no one understands you anymore. And I agree with that. I just really believe that that is what it takes. Because once you get to that level, you don't care what anyone else thinks of you. You just get the job done. And I feel quite conflicted because with regards to emotional intelligence, balance is where the superpower lies. Having balance across each of the 15 competencies is where emotional intelligence gets its power. So I'm going to share with you a practical example of where imbalances between two competencies has caused me to feel frustrated, upset at times, and disappointed with myself, with how I've approached the situation. And now, through working on it and practicing this skill of being more assertive, I've grown. And my results have reflected that. So I've done the EQI test twice, and in this test, I've been able to identify my assertiveness, which is your ability to clearly express your thoughts, beliefs, values to other people in a polite and meaningful way so that it comes across well. My assertiveness score was in the low range in comparison to the norm group, which is Australia. So in comparison to all of the Australians who have taken this test, my assertiveness score was in the low range. And it was a score of I think it was 67 at first. I'll get a screenshot and I'll add it to this video. But after a couple months, I took the test again and it increased to 76. Now, this is still in the low range, but there has been improvement. But in order for this improvement to occur, something had to give. I know it's linked. What I'm about to say is linked to PE and what I learned in PE at school. And it's one of Newton's laws of motion, where for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if your body moves that way, it's going to try and move that way. Can't even see it. If your body moves that way, it's going to try to move the other way to remain balanced, have the equilibrium. So with regards to what composite had to drop a little bit, it was my interpersonal relationships. And this composite, it's my ability to develop and maintain relationships, and how I place, the value that I place on relationships and what they mean to me. Now, for me personally, I value relationships very highly. But sometimes I do this at my own cost. Because I love connecting with other people and talking to other people, sometimes I am scared and I don't voice my own opinion because I'm scared that there will be disharmony. Now, at first, my interpersonal relationship score was 124, which is almost maxed out on these results, because the highest result that you can get for a competency and your overall emotional intelligence is 130. So I was at 124 in comparison to the norm group, in comparison to Australia, everyone in Australia who has completed the test. And after a couple months, this result dropped from 124 to 113. And why? And it came down to one reason. I was more open to voicing my own opinion. And what my mentor helped me realize was that I was able to speak my mind regardless of how the other person would take it. And within an hour, within a couple hours, it might even be a day or two, regardless of what I had said, harmony would be restored. The harmony never actually left. It was just a perception that I thought that the harmony would disappear, and that if I had said something that would disappoint or the other person would disapprove of, they'd hate me. In reality, that is not the case. It would never be the case. No way. And it wasn't. Because I started to voice my own opinion, speak up when I thought I wanted to and I needed to, and when it felt right, and said what I needed to say. And I realized that while there might be some disagreement in the short term, not only will that person or group of people acknowledge and trust my word more in the future, because I'm confident enough to speak my mind and say what I was thinking. But I also realized that nothing actually changed. That person still loved me and still liked being around me for me. So this is a practical example of how balance or the imbalance can cause frustration, and that balance can help grow your overall emotional intelligence, and it will help you have some peace of mind too. So if you take one thing from this video, balance with regards to emotional intelligence is exactly where the strength lies. For me, and this specific example, lowering my reliance on my relationships with other people and gaining the confidence to speak my mind and developing that skill helped me feel better in the long run. And it's something that I'm continuing to practice each and every single day. That's it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I've got something special coming up that I'm happy to announce. Very pleased to announce soon. So when that happens, you guys will find out. But it'll be very soon. So you guys have a good day. Keep chipping away, keep working at it, and just remember, the more reps you put in, the stronger the muscle. So if you are wanting to improve your emotional intelligence, the more situations where you look to improve it, the closer you will be to getting where you want to go, to achieving what you want to achieve. Because in reality, change starts with you. Have a good day.